Ophelia Records has been one of my favorite music labels for a long time, and today we witnessed their second ever full album release. To the Endless Searing Skies by Xavi is a beautiful and impressive work of art that I am so excited to review today because Xavi has been one of my favorite artists for the past few months, ever since he released his first two singles of the album. And today we got to listen to the whole 10 songs, and I am super I love them so far. I think they are extremely original and they feature sounds that I've never heard before in electronic music. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna first go through the two singles that he released over the last few months of December, and then I'm gonna talk about the new songs and what I thought about the album because I have a lot of thoughts that I'm gonna talk about in the end that kind of tie together this whole experience. So without further ado, let's check out Savi's first two singles, "Nevertheless" and "The Warmth of Known." So before December 2020, I've never before heard of Xavi, save for one song in the Ophelia Advent 2 compilation. And with this song, Nevertheless, I completely fell in love with the sound design. I thought it was super incredible, unlike anything I've ever heard. And it had a very cinematic feel to it, including the sign of the cover. I thought it was super awesome, like the whole spires coming out from the desert. I don't know what it is, but it feels super like dreamlike, and that's a feeling that it is carried throughout in the entire album, to the Endless Searing Skies. And I love that it's the second song in the album, save for the intro, because this is a song that really kind of lets you know what you're in for with the album. And Nevertheless also has a very distinct style. It's very original. I don't really know how to classify it into a genre, but I heard like a lot of Porter Robinson influences, like a lot of kind of like chiptune sounds, but it's super cool. Like listening to it, I just fell into this like dreamlike state that I enjoyed so much, and it's a feeling that is carried throughout the whole thing. So Nevertheless is probably my favorite song of the album. I've listened to it over and over, and it's super just relaxing to listen to. It just transports you to another dimension that I think that's what Savi is trying to do with this album. Now, a month and a half later after Nevertheless, Savi also released another single called "The Warmth of Known," and this track is a little bit more chill. It has more like a sound that is kind of like housey, but it also has like his distinct style that is pretty much unclassifiable. Like it is beyond any genres and EDM and melodic bass. It's just something completely new that I really enjoyed. I like the song. I like Nevertheless more than The Warmth of Known, but these two songs kind of just like made me feel a lot of distinct emotions that I can't describe with words, really. And they're a great start for like getting to know Savi's discography. And I went back into his discography and really discovered a lot of songs that were also really cool. And I'm super glad he's getting this exposure with Ophelia Records. So now I'm gonna go throughout the whole album and say my thoughts on each song and what I thought about them. So now let's go and review the whole entire To the Endless Searing Skies, starting with the intro, "Memories Lost to the Infinite." This is a pretty awesome intro. It has like the same melody from Nevertheless, like kind of like the build up. And it's just really cool. It's a good introduction and I liked it. Then we go into Nevertheless, which is amazing. Best song of the album, hands down. A great single, great introduction to Savi. I think he made a great decision releasing this as a single. After Nevertheless, we got Random Acts of Collision, which is a pretty experimental track. It feels very different from Nevertheless, but I like the kind of like the build up and kind of like the punchy sounds in the middle of the song. I thought it was pretty original, pretty unlike anything I've ever heard before. After Random Acts of Collision, we have Losing Faith, which I think it's the heaviest song in the album. It's really intense. It kind of has like this feeling of dread, which I think it's necessary because all the other songs sound like feel goody, like they're kind of like feel good songs, and this one is kind of like heavy, has a little bit more serious tone, but it's really good. It's really punchy. It's kind of like intense. But yeah, it's a good song. And next we have In Vacui or In Vacui. I don't know how to pronounce that. But vacui means like vacuum, like void in Latin, I think. And this is my second favorite song of the album, I think. This song is super fun. It's really beautiful. Like it's just it has a lot of beauty carried through it. I really like the melodies that the song contained, and I think Invacui is yeah, my favorite second favorite song of the album. After Invacui, we have Our Language, which is also a really good song. I think it's my third or fourth favorite song of the album. The Warmth of Known, I think it's on place three. So Our Language gets place four, but it's a really good song. I really enjoyed it. So Language, its definition is basically a place that you are forced to stay, like an unpleasant place or situation. And it's kind of a yeah, like the lyrics also kind of represent struggle. And also, I'm going to talk a little bit about the vocals. So Xavi fully produced and also did vocals for the entire album, as he revealed, I think, on Instagram. So I think that's a really nice touch. I think he did a great job with the whole thing. I can see like a lot of inspiration from Porter Robinson. Like he also records his vocals, he pitches them up, and he makes some really great music with that. And I think that is a great technique that not a lot of artists use. So after Our Language, we have Ave Maria, which has no relation with the original Ave Maria song. I expected it to be like that, but it's still good. I liked it. It had a good melody, but otherwise I felt like it didn't really stand out that much. But yeah, I still enjoyed it. So after Ave Maria, we have The Warmth of Known, which I already discussed it before, and it's my second favorite song. Super good. And then we have Sadak in The Search of Waters. I love this. I think this song has a really nice like world building to it. It has like a lot of personality with the lyrics. Like it says like I feel like Sadak. I don't know who Sadak is, but I think it's really cool that Savi like puts these like stories into his music. And I think that's a theme that is all throughout To the Endless Searing Skies, just like music storytelling. I love analyzing these songs. I think they're super original and dreamlike, and I really enjoyed it. So yeah, after Sadak, we have Accept the Inevitable, which is the outro to the album. And like all outros, it's super calm. It's basically a farewell to what we listened to, and I enjoyed it. I think it's a great way to tie the entire album. Overall, I like the album, and now I'm gonna share my final thoughts on it. So to conclude, To the Endless Searing Skies was a great introduction to Savi, a great album, a great work of art that stands really well on its own. It was fully solo by Savi. No, there were no features, but it still shines in so many ways. It has a great world building that I think more artists should be like more inspiration into creating these like beautiful worlds like we're used to from Ophelia. Just from the album covers, you can tell like Ophelia Records is mostly about world building, about expressing beauty through music. And I think this album does a great job to it. So overall, I think To the Endless Searing Skies deserves a 78 out of 100. I liked it. But yeah, I think some of the songs could have stood out more, like Neverless. Neverless was a great introduction. Maybe it set the bar too high, but I enjoyed the album. I still think it's a great work of art. And that's it for today. Follow Savi on his socials. He's a great artist, and I'm really excited to see what he brings to the table next. And yeah, thank you all for watching, and check out my other reviews. So yeah, that's all for today, and see you guys later.